Hey everyone, welcome to Reality TV News Update, the place where we bring you the latest updates, fun moments, and behind-the-scenes stories you won't want to miss. The Big Brother 27 house was already tense before the sun even came up, but by midnight it would be complete chaos. No one expected this season to spiral so fast. Alliances were supposed to be forming. Smiles were supposed to be fake but civil. Instead, the house was turning into a pressure cooker of grudges, bruised egos, and explosive confrontations. And at the center of it all were two of reality television's most competitive women, Reilly and Willett. What began as subtle side-eye in the kitchen turned into a full-scale war that had the entire house and the live feeds on edge. Day 18. The calm before the storm. The morning started deceptively calm. House guests lounged in the backyard while Rachel paced near the pool table, suspicious eyes darting from group to group. Ever since she'd lost an unexpected veto the night before, she was convinced her alliance had cracked. Morgan, meanwhile, looked unbothered. She sat at the kitchen counter, laughing with two swing votes, fully aware Rachel was watching. The tension between the two had been growing for days after Morgan quietly flipped a critical vote and blindsided Rachel's closest ally. Rachel hadn't forgotten. She thinks she's running the game, baby, but she's playing chess with a grandmaster. Rachel whispered to the camera later in the storage room. The first shot fired. The fight started with a whisper, but it ended with a house-wide explosion. It started when Rachel overheard Morgan joking that old-school players can't keep up anymore. The comment spread through the kitchen like gasoline. Within minutes, Rachel stormed in. "What did you just say about me?" Rachel demanded. Morgan didn't back down. "If the shoe fits, wear it." Gasps echoed. Chairs scraped back. House guests instantly scattered into corners of the room. Rachel laughed sharply. "You think you're slick because you won a couple comps outside this house. This is Big Brother, sweetie. This is survival." Morgan crossed her arms. "Funny, because it looks like you're the one scrambling." That's when everything detonated. The house divides. Voices rose. Accusations flew. Old betrayals were dragged back into the open. Rachel accused Morgan of playing scared. Morgan fired back that Rachel played reckless. "You hide behind chaos, and you hide behind fake smiles," Rachel shot back. Within hours, the house was split cleanly down the middle. One side rallied behind Rachel, drawn in by her intensity and history. The other locked in with Morgan, admiring her calm precision and quiet control. Even the head of household admitted later they'd lost control of the game. "I've never seen the house flip this fast," the HO whispered in the diary room. "It's like everyone woke up and picked a side." Shock number 1. The secret alliance exposed. Just when everyone thought the worst was over, production dropped the first massive shock of the week. A secret late-night meeting was caught on the live feeds. Rachel, along with two unexpected house guests, was shown forming a brand new alliance aimed directly at Morgan. But here's the twist. One of those alliance members was secretly feeding information back to Morgan the entire time. By morning, Morgan already knew everything. And she waited. Shock number 2. The public call-out. At the next house meeting, originally supposed to be about chores, Morgan detonated her own bomb. "I just want to thank Rachel for inviting me to the alliance I was never actually invited to," she said calmly. The room froze. Rachel's face went pale. Morgan continued, "It's bold to plan someone's eviction when you don't realize they already know." Pandemonium erupted. Rachel stood up so fast her chair slammed into the wall. "You were spying on us?" Morgan shrugged. "You made it easy." The betrayal stunned even Rachel's allies. Trust dissolved in seconds. Shock number 3. The late-night blow-up. If the daylight drama was loud, the midnight confrontation was volcanic. Rachel cornered Morgan near the have-not room. "You embarrassed me on purpose," she hissed. "No, you embarrassed yourself," Morgan replied calmly. That was the breaking point. Insults turned personal. Voices echoed through the house. Several house guests rushed in to separate them as production yelled for them to step back. "I built my legacy in this game," Rachel shouted. "And you're burning it right now," Morgan fired back. For the first time all season, Rachel was speechless. Shock number 4. The power shift nobody saw coming. 2 days later, the veto ceremony changed everything. Rachel expected safety. Morgan was confident too. But the veto holder, someone both women believed was loyal, used the power in a completely different way, saving a third house guest and forcing the head of household to nominate one of the two rivals. The house held its breath. The key turned. Rachel Reilly was nominated. Stunned silence. Even Morgan looked shocked. "I didn't expect that," she whispered. Rachel forced a smile. Inside, she was boiling. "They think I'm dead in this game," she said later. "They just woke up the wrong girl." Shock number 5. Morgan's emotional breakdown. While Rachel went into overdrive campaigning, something unexpected happened. Morgan cracked. The pressure of being the house target for weeks, the public confrontations, the double dealing, finally caught up to her. Late one night, cameras caught her crying quietly in the bathroom. "I didn't want it to get like this," she whispered. "But now it's kill or be killed." For the first time all season, viewers saw vulnerability instead of strategy. Eviction night, the ultimate cliffhanger. By eviction night, the house was fully fractured. Votes were uncertain. People had lied to both sides. Even the host teased that the vote would come down to one single decision. Rachel wore red, defiant and fearless. Morgan dressed in black, silent and steady. Each woman gave a chilling final speech. Rachel, "I've played loud, I've played proud, and if I walk out tonight, at least I walked out swinging." Morgan, "I didn't roar. I calculated, and tonight, strategy beats volume." The votes came in. Tie. The head of household stood frozen, hands shaking. "I vote to evict." The feed cut to black. Aftermath, a war that changed the season. When the episode finally ended, fans were in shock. Social media exploded. Viewers split into Team Rachel and Team Morgan overnight. Some called it the greatest rivalry in modern Big Brother history. Inside the house, nothing would ever be the same. Trust was gone. Alliances were poisoned. Even those who survived eviction knew one thing for certain. Big Brother 27 would never return to normal. And somewhere behind 2 locked doors, Rachel Reilly and Morgan Willett were already planning their next streak. Because this war
The Big
was
Brother
far
27
from over.
house had seen drama before, but nothing like this. What started as competitive tension quickly erupted into a season-defining feud between two powerhouse women, Rachel Reilly and Morgan Willett. By week 4, their rivalry didn't just dominate the game, it consumed it. Every whisper, every nomination, every glance across the kitchen became another spark in a fire that threatened to burn the house down, and no one was ready for how big the shocks were about to get. The quiet betrayal that started it all. The war began softly, almost invisibly. Rachel believed she had control. Her alliance was solid. Her numbers were strong. She trusted Morgan just enough to keep her close. But during a late-night vote flip that blindsided half the house, Rachel's closest ally was sent packing by a move Morgan secretly engineered. When the eviction ended, Rachel clapped with everyone else. She smiled. She hugged people. But inside, she already knew. "She stabbed me without even touching me," Rachel whispered later in the storage room. "And the worst part, she thinks I won't hit back." First explosion, the kitchen chaos. 2 days later, everything blew open. During breakfast, Morgan joked with the swing votes about old-school players making emotional mistakes. The room went quiet. Rachel looked up slowly from her coffee. "Say that again?" Morgan didn't flinch. If you're playing emotional, it's not strategy. Rachel stood up so fast her chair nearly toppled. You just put my name in your mouth. And you just confirmed I hit a nerve. The shouting echoed through the house. House guests rushed in from every room. Accusations flew. Lies, betrayal, manipulation. Nobody could stop it. The calm season everyone expected was officially over. From that moment on, the house split into two sides. Team Rachel versus Team Morgan. And no one stood safely in the middle anymore. Shock number 1. The secret alliance gets exposed. That same night, Rachel struck back. She gathered 3 house guests into the have-not room and formed a secret alliance aimed directly at taking Morgan out. What Rachel didn't know was that one of those people walked straight back to Morgan and revealed everything. The next morning, Morgan called everyone into the living room. "I just want to thank Rachel for plotting my eviction before breakfast," she said calmly. Rachel froze. Gasps filled the room. "You had someone spying on us?" Rachel snapped. Morgan smiled. "No, you just had someone loyal to me." Trust shattered instantly. Even Rachel's own allies began to doubt her grip on the game. Shock number 2, the competition that changed everything. The next head of household competition was brutal. Endurance, balance, and mental toughness wrapped into one. Rachel and Morgan outlasted everyone. It came down to seconds. Morgan won. The house went silent. Rachel forced a smile. "Congrats." Inside the diary room, Morgan whispered, "Power changes everything." She nominated 2 of Rachel's closest allies. The house knew exactly who the real target was. Shock number 3, Rachel fights for her life. For the first time all season, Rachel was on her heels. She campaigned nonstop. She promised safety. She promised chaos. She reminded people of her competition record and warned them what would happen if Morgan gained full control. "She's quiet, and that's dangerous," she told one player. "At least with me, you know where the fire's coming from." Morgan, meanwhile, stayed calm. She moved in silence, securing votes without raising her voice. Everyone could feel it. Something massive was coming. Shock number 4, the late-night confrontation. The tension finally snapped around midnight. Rachel confronted Morgan in the hallway near the bedrooms. "You turned this whole house on me." "No," Morgan answered quietly. "You did that yourself." Voices rose, cameras zoomed in, house guests pressed against doors and walls listening. "I built my legacy in this game," Rachel shouted. "And now you're watching it unravel," Morgan said. Rachel stepped closer. "You think you beat me?" Morgan didn't blink. "Not yet, but it's coming." Production stepped in before it turned physical, but the damage was already done. The house was rattled. The feeds exploded with reactions. Fans couldn't look away. Shock number 5. The veto throws the house into chaos. At the veto competition, fate took a wild turn. Rachel won. The house expected her to save one of her allies. Instead, she made a shocking move. She saved someone from Morgan's side. The house erupted. Morgan stared at the board in disbelief. "You just made your own situation worse." Rachel smiled. "Or, I just exposed your numbers." The replacement nominee shocked everyone. Rachel herself went on the block as part of a backdoor deal gone wrong. Now both rivals were in danger. Shock number 6. Morgan breaks down. For weeks, Morgan had looked untouchable, calm, controlled, unshaken. But the pressure finally cracked her. Late one night, cameras caught her crying alone in the bathroom. "I didn't come here to be hated. I just wanted to win." It was the first time the house saw the weight she carried beneath the strategy. Rachel, watching from across the room, said only one thing. She's human after all. Eviction night, the house holds its breath. By eviction night, nothing was certain. Votes were split, promises had been broken, lies had layered over lies. The host teased that the result would be one of the tightest in Big Brother history. Rachel stood bold in red. Morgan stood silent in black. Rachel's speech was fierce. "I fight hard because I care hard. If that scares you, maybe that's why you should keep me." Morgan's was calm. "I didn't scream. I calculated. That's how I survived." The vote was read. Tie. The head of household hesitated, hands shaking. "I vote to evict." The pause felt endless. Then the name. Gasps shattered the air. One rival stayed.
One rival walked out, and the war left behind was bigger than anyone imagined. Aftermath. The season is forever changed. The house didn't celebrate. It couldn't. The eviction didn't end the chaos. It multiplied it. Alliances were poisoned. Trust was gone. Everyone knew one truth now. Big Brother 27 belonged to the war between Rachel Reilly and Morgan Willett, and whether they were together or apart, the shock waves of their battle would shape every single week that followed.